So, okay, Gundam lacks a breakout AAA game. Some exist, like the Extreme Versus games, G Generation, Mobile Suit Battle Operation 2. I think those are three good examples of successful Gundam games. Um, and lines of games, like with Extreme and G Generation. But none of these are equivalent to Spider-Man or Jedi Survivor or Arkham City. Like, those are big IPs, right? Those games converted millions of non-fans into franchise fans. Gundam games mostly target existing Gundam fans. Um, I think
Source.
no, but like, doesn't that just make sense? Like, for as much as we are gamers and we like Gundam, like we know, like, yeah, there's fun Gundam games, but not what you would expect from the Gundam IP. Bandai has so many IPs that have amazing games. I'm not a big Dragon Ball fan. I think it's neat, but I played that game. I think it was Kakarot or whatever. It was open world. That was fun as heck. Uh,
Yeah.
I learned more, and my youngest was helping me too. He's telling me some of the characters and all that. Um, it, and I think so. This goes back to what I was saying earlier when I said this would get us into, because playing Left Alive, how fun would it be where you're just some no name Federation officer? That area we were in was where Xeon came and occupied it. So almost like if they made Requiem for Vengeance into a game where you have to sneak around an area, get supplies every once in a while. Like maybe every level there's a mobile suit battle. It's like
Yeah.
near the end, you finally get to where you can get into a mobile suit, and it escalates every level, like more mobile suits. I, and why I think this helps too is it could be that converting that fan into a Gundam fan from a video game doesn't require the game necessarily to be a mech only game. It might be the secret here is to just make it a game about the universe. So you maybe, and what do people like third person action games like Fortnite? And so you might as well have it where you're a third person character running around, but then there's the mecha. How are you? Titanfall is a good example of how popular Titanfall 2 is, especially. Just to have it where the sequences of the mobile suits might not be too often, but when they happen, it's very rewarding. People are like, oh shit, I got to learn more about these mobile suits. But I think if you give it the high end graphics, awesome third person gameplay where you're under attack, I would love. I'm running around in the city and it's like dusk, and I just see paratroopers just in the distance coming down. And it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? You know?
I wonder how much of this goes back to what you were just talking about when it comes to cultural differences. Because when I look at the Versus series, G Generation, and Battle Operation 2, do you know what I see?
No.
Arcade games.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Yeah. None of. Yeah.
There is a very huge arcade culture in Japan that we do not have in the United States or anywhere else, really, honestly. But when you look at like Marvel Spider-Man, Jedi Survivor, Arkham City, these are story-driven, narrative,
Oh, yeah.
exploration games. Every single Gundam game, there's without exception, every single Gundam game is mission-based, level-based,
An
and sometimes it's
arcade.
even like time-based. So
Yeah.
it's like just destroy as many mobile suits within 5 minutes as you possibly can. How are you supposed to digest a universe? How are you supposed to take in the story when your mission is essentially just a time attack mode?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm looking at these games and there really is not a narrative-driven Gundam game at
Mhm.
all. They all have that same arcade mission structure.
I mean, and that's the thing. That's what's sad about Noisy Fairy. What was that? Code Fairy?
Yeah, Code Fairy.
Was it had a story, but it was held back by this mission structure. So it just felt disjointed. Like, okay, next mission, next mission. I love that it had an intro and opening, and that's like that should have just been a web series, and then or maybe the gameplay is a little different and it's more integrated as you go. But I think that's what it is. It's the exploration, the narrative, and an action-based narrative exploration. I think those three are key. I've learned that with myself recently, playing more JRPGs. I'm realizing I don't mind if the action isn't amazing, if at least I'm going on this exploration journey and learning some things along the way. And yeah, I think if you're in a colony being taken over by Principality of Xeon, you're running around, maybe going to terminals. Let's say you could go to a hangar and you can get into one of those lift thingies and then just all you want explore the mobile suits. I mean,
Yeah.
that would, that would be awesome.
So imagine this. Imagine a remake of the game Bully, but it's
Oh,
set in Ostacasia,
okay.
and you
I think that would do really good. People like that
people
stuff.
might actually like Witch from Mercury after that.
I really feel like that would sell a whole lot. I would have, even though I'm not a big fan of Witch from Mercury, if you came to me in our company, you're like, "Hey, Adam, I want to do this," I would be like, "Green light, great idea," because there's something there. And what's cool about what you brought up, let's say they do different games like that. You can then have it whenever a mobile suit component comes up, it plays different in context to whatever that narrative game is.
Yeah.
Like maybe the way you would do the battles in Witch from Mercury, since it's a school stuff, maybe the way the controls and everything, it's just that type for that game. And that kind of helps differentiate.
It's kinda interesting going back to, like, the Hogwarts Legacy thing,
Yeah.
it's not 100% like that, but obviously you explore the school, you interact with NPCs, you do the story mode and stuff, but there is a section of the game that you really do have to do in order to, advance your character level, is the dueling club. You become a member of the dueling club, and every time you go up there for a duel, you learn a new skill. So it's like, here's how you disarm your opponent. Here's how you stun your opponent. Here's how you lift them. Here's how you pull them towards you. All these different skills that you learn. And what's interesting is it has that to it, where it's like you're open world, and then you get up to the dueling club. Hey, do you want to accept this duel? Click, screen goes black, loads up, and you're in a dedicated dueling space. So imagine that as your Gundam, where it's like you have this open world exploratory experience, but then when you go to particular areas, camera goes down, you're in a mobile suit, and then the mobile suit controls kick off, and then that's where you have the mission structure that you're familiar with from the arcade games.
I would completely accept that. And that reminds me of what works in these recent JRPGs I've been playing, where you're exploring the world, but then when an instance occurs, sometimes it will be its own thing. The controls change just a little bit. I'm more open to that. I shied away from JRPGs in the past, but I'm more open to that now that I've been playing them. So I think that's a great idea. Yeah, so I think the game thing is pretty obvious.
Yeah,
Of what needs to be done. Now, there's also being fragmented across timelines. I think we'd agree. I mean,
we talked
in
about this earlier, yeah.
my opinion, they should always default Universal Century just because that's what got it popular. And so there's a through line. If you get into Mobile Suit Gundam, there is that tried and true through line when then you discover Zeta. And then if you're a Chad, no, double Zeta, no, but and then Shard's counterattack, etc. Um, Marketing focused on Japan first. So I think this is still a big issue and it doesn't make sense. G-Quux was released for everybody at the same time, translated, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Hathaway got released in Japan and we don't know when it's coming out here, Hathaway too. And I know there's merchandise, but that's not coming out yet. And then the only tie-ins they have is like if you play G Generation Eternal, which then if someone's like, oh, a Gundam video game, and that's their only then basis of a Gundam game, and they're not into it, it's like, oh, Gundam's not for me.
Yeah.
There's this Hathaway movie I want to watch. I don't know when it's coming out. It's supposed to be a new good Gundam movie. Oh, the game. I feel like for me, I get it. I'll be patient. But again, if Bandai wants to get more Westerners into Gundam, this isn't going to work. So
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Oh, and it's saying, meanwhile, companies like Disney design IP to dominate the global market first, which may be the smart way to go about it if you're not like having mass layoffs, because in Japan, they already these companies sometimes get bigger than they need to be. And I think that's what I think when you're going global first, you're saying, yeah, probably in a couple quarters we'll do some layoffs, but right now we're going to dump everything in. But Japan has a Disney World.
They do.
We don't have a Gundam statue in the US.
Paris has Euro Disney, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So that's another. We need a mobile suit should be on each continent.
100%.
Yeah.
How ridiculous is it that China got the Freedom Gundam when Freedom Country USA didn't get a single Gundam?
Okay. Good question. Off topic, real quick. What should be the Gundam they build in the US?
Wing Gundam.
Oh, okay. I think that's a really good answer.
Yeah,
You nailed it.
easy.
Easy. Okay, that was good. I agree with that 100%.
Thank you, folks. Mhm.
Yeah. All right. That's the stream. No, okay, here's this the irony. Gundam is actually one of the top IPs ever. Despite these limitations, Gundam is still massive. Mobile Suit Gundam is estimated to have generated 25 billion lifetime revenue. That puts it in the same conversations as things like Barbie, Dragon Ball, and Transformers.